Are you going to stay in town for today, eh?
Oh, I'm going to Brabazon Street.
Are you?
Take that off, Gavin. The lads are just going to hold it.
Sounds like a decent plan to me, mate. Sounds like a plan to me.
You're on it. It's good talk.
Welcome into the chat, guys. We're down in Tusla here today. Down in Kilmainham.
How are you?
Thank you to Kathy Lynch for that cash report to the council here today. So I'm just going to read the letter out. And I have put on Garda Síochána on notice that we would like somebody from tusla to come down, and a couple of our representatives here will hand us. That sounds terrible. A couple of our representatives here will hand the letter to some of the tusla officials that have been asked to come down. Not only that, we have also sent a registered letter. Sometimes letters get lost. Secondly, we're going to have Ciara is going to explain the second format of today. And this is a participation for everybody here, and we're hoping people are going to get involved in this and get behind it. So, without further ado, to the leadership of tusla and to Pat Rabbit, Chairperson, we write to you today as a group of deeply concerned citizens and parents, professional community members. We believe that the children of Ireland deserve better. We stand together outside your headquarters, not as adversaries, but as the voice for the voiceless, for the vulnerable children and the families whom tusla have a statutory duty to protect. We are horrified by the mounting evidence of systematic failures, negligence and cover-ups within your agency. Recent reports make it painfully clear that tusla is falling short of its sacred mission, the care of children. And that is not a question of isolated mistakes, but institutional breakdown. Here are just some of the most scandalous and urgent issues. Delays in safeguarding referrals. A HICWA inspection found that in North County Dublin, tusla took more than 6 months to act on the safeguarding risk identified in some cases. Shockingly, some children were sitting on waiting lists without any safety plan, even though their cases have been open for months. This is not just bureaucratic inefficiency. This is deliberately risking children's lives. Unallocated social workers for children in care. A judge has described tusla failure to assign social workers to hundreds of children as shocking and appalling, and it must be for a judge to say it. In one case, a child remained without a designated social worker for years in direct violation of court orders. How can children be properly protected when they lack a consistent, qualified point of contact? Children repeatedly going missing from care. Internal records obtained under the Freedom of Information show that children in tusla-run residential homes were reported missing nearly 7,000 times between January 20 and September 2025. Disturbingly, one child was reported, hold on to your hands, 274 times in one single year.
Saoirse, how's the audio there?
Shame on them.
Shame!
You'll be interested to hear Tusla's response. The most short absences, failure to acknowledging the underlying trauma and systematic instability, staff burnout and capacity crisis. An internal Tusla review in Donegal found that social workers are suffering from intractable staffing problems, burnout and overwhelming workloads, delaying the critical assessment of abuse or neglect. These
Thanks,
are
guys.
not, and they'll keep telling us, but these are not administrative issues. They are moral failures. When the staff are overworked and under-supported, the safety of the children is unduly compromised. Data protection catastrophes. Since 2019, Tusla has recorded over 2,000 personal data breaches, many involving extremely sensitive information about children. Some breaches were deemed high risk, exposing vulnerable children and their families to real harm, even potentially to the people who may wish to do them harm. This is not a technical failure. This is a betrayal of our trust. We understand that Tusla operates under difficult and resource-constrained circumstances, but these repeated failures cannot simply be blamed on the lack of funding or staffing. This is what they're going to tell us again and again. We must insist on real accountability, and that's why we're here today, and that's why we're going to keep coming back for real accountability.
Yes!
We do not need reform. We need this institution to be disbanded and reformed. There's no saving this institution at this stage. There is no saving it. And this is intentional, ladies and gentlemen, to destabilise families and to destroy the moral fibre of our society and to destroy the most vulnerable in our society. This is not just some structural failure. This is deliberate. This is deliberate. And therefore, we're not asking. There's nobody here asking today. We demand an independent public inquiry into Tusla's failures, especially regarding the so-called missing children. There's no such thing as a missing child. That child is somewhere. There is no such thing as a missing child. A transparent and practical plan within clear timelines to reduce delays in screening referrals. A well-resourced recruitment and retention strategy, including mental health support to prevent burnout. Stronger data protection. Where is all this data going? O'Gorman, where are the files? Where are the files, O'Gorman? Why has Roger O'Gorman lost these files? A public apology and reparation action for the children in particular and for the families who have been let down. We stand here today, our voices will be heard for the children of Ireland who cannot speak for themselves. We will not forget them, and there has been many empty promises over the years, and I understand that there has been brilliant people bringing this to the fore for a long time. But the tide has turned, and what Ireland experienced in the 50s and the 60s, this is only a posher version. This is only a posher version of the trafficking of the children with the collusion of the church and the state, and of course the criminal courts in the 1950s and the 60s. Now we have these dystopian buildings. The buildings have changed, but the heinous acts have not. So now we have asked Garda Síochána, is there a representative from tusla coming down until we hand in the letter? And if we have a couple of people that would like to go and hand in the letter, they're more than welcome to take this letter, Dee. And we're going to hand in this letter. And just to be sure, as I said, there is a letter in the post to them as well. So if a couple of people want to hand in this letter. We'd like to ask Bridget Scannell if she'd like to hand it in. And we'd also, I'm sorry about the sound. And we'd like to ask Bo Daisy as well if she'd like to hand it in. And maybe if we have a gentleman, maybe I'd like to go with the ladies to hand in this letter. Just put it in the envelope, girls. And just hand it in.
You filthy farmers!
Ireland is tier 2 on the human wants trafficking list.
And this woman, these are the main two against tusla. They have been imprisoned, dragged through courts for years. This woman is only 11 or 12 times tusla has run out into prison. This is the woman, this is the main woman that has been tormented, our children tormented. She tried to stop them vaccinating our children and she was thrown into prison for exposing it. That's the main woman that tusla has persecuted in this country for exposing them for what and who they are, child traffickers.
Yes, they
Look up St Andrews of Northampton where they sold the Irish children to. I have the evidence, I have the HICWA evidence, I have everything. They sold children to institutions in the UK. We would expose that and they jailed this woman for it.
No, shame on them. Yeah, shame on them. Shame on them.
And of course, we know these are not just the Irish family agency. This is a worldwide problem, and I'm very happy our English pastor
member of staff take the letter.
Straight into the bin with that anyway. Straight into the bin with it. But at least he took it.
Well, we have other people that we know, and we know their background. So look, guys, have we handed in the letter? That's perfect. Thank you so much. That's great. And we're just going to have a little format. I know Bridget's... Sorry, guys. I know Bridget's going to talk in a couple of seconds. I'm just going to hand you over to Ciara, and Ciara is going to explain the next part of the morning. I know you're cold, but you know what? As the nuns used to say to us, we're not made of sugar lumps, you know. And, you know, they said a lot of other things too. So, Ciara, have we Ciara there just to explain the next format? Good morning. Thanks, Ciara.
Hi everybody. First and foremost, I'd just like to say this is not an attack on all tusla staff. There are good people working in there. There are people that have good hearts. There are people that are stuck between a rock and a hard place. To these people, I'd like to say, stand up, speak out, and tell us what you know. We are all at the start. We are at the starting stages of something here. This is not going to go away. We're only going to grow. We know there are nefarious goings on behind the scenes. Children do not disappear into thin air. Files don't disappear into thin air. But it seems to be a regular occurrence here in Ireland. Well, it ends now. Today is the 25th of November. We're exactly a month out from Christmas, the most magical day of the year for children. However, for many, this will be another Christmas of dread, fear, despair for the most vulnerable children across Ireland. Why? Because the current system is not fit for purpose. This is not about being left or right. This is about the most vulnerable children in Ireland that have no voice. We have to be their voice. If we cannot unite for vulnerable children, then our country's future is very bleak. It's up to us, the ordinary people, everyday citizens, to do what is right here. To make sure every Christmas going forward from here on in is a safe and secure Christmas for all the children in this country. And it's up to us, guys, to sort this out.
All to the demonstrators.
Lastly, I've got a postcard here in my hand. It's addressed to Jim O'Callaghan, our Minister for Justice. I've got 2,500 of them, actually. And that's where everybody is going to come in. On the postcards, we have written, a 10-year-old girl raped in City West. How did Tusla let this happen? Where are the why were the files deleted, O'Gorman? How did a 14-year-old girl go from being in state care to being in a brothel? As of May 2025, there were 32 migrant children missing from state care. Tusla is failing Ireland's most vulnerable children. We demand an investigation into Tusla. So we're going to give these out. We're going to ask people to give them out to your friends and family. Put a note on them, sign them, put a stamp on them and get them into the post box. We want 2,500 of these going up to Dáil Éireann. We need to make this work, lads. Take a picture of it, post it on social media if you're comfortable enough to do that. The more focus and attention on this, the better.
That's it.
We're demanding an investigation into Tusla. We're only at the starting stages and we're not going to stop until we get some answers. Thanks very much.
Well done.
Hi everybody, my name is Dee Wall, aka Dolores Webster, and I've been involved with the ladies that's been persecuted left, right and centre by the people in this building, mainly the main rich, super rich people on the backs of the mothers and fathers and grandmothers and grandfathers of this country, where they've taken their children and, believe it or not, sold them over to organisations in the UK. And I proved this back in 2019, where I was persecuted, dragged, arrested, you name it, for exposing this. I stood in the courts with these ladies right in front of me here with the blue posters. These have been exposing Tusla for years. And there's one very brave lady standing here, and her name is Bridget Scanlon. And I'm going to ask you people, never ever forget that name, Bridget Scanlon, because Bridget Scanlon not only been tormented, arrested, ridiculed, shamed, dragged into courts, and Tusla social workers, I listened to them in the courts, lie about this woman, lie through their teeth about her. They never put it in the disclosure that she took a plastic bottle and hit the social worker with it. But yet the judge took the word of the lying social worker in the courtroom and jailed this grandmother for speaking up for her children. The last thing she did was tell them, you will not inject my child, my son, with an experimental trial. And because she tried to expose her, they jailed her. They jailed her, and she's only out now, recently from prison. She's going to tell you that herself right now. Bridget Scanlon, please come up.
My name is Bridget Scanlon. I've been fighting Tusla for over 30 years. Started with my own family, then they started targeting me for my own family. I just want to make people aware that the children that's in care, Tusla are trafficking them to other countries. My own child was a subject of that. She was sent over to England. She was raped and abused over there. Then they tried to send another one over to Nebraska. So they're trafficking children all over the world. Tusla, in my opinion, child trafficking agency. They have jailed many of us. I've been jailed over the last 10, 15 years over speaking out against tusla for different things. They're using the children that they have in care for the experimental vaccines that they're using. And we're not hearing anything about any of them kids dying or anything else. My husband himself, I myself was through the Magdalen laundries. My husband himself was through Father Brendan Smith up in Belfast. He was abused, sexually abused by him. Anybody that has been abused by tusla or by anybody that's in the care of tusla have never been prosecuted. They still today walk the streets. And the children, most of them, ended up in mental hospitals or sent away to other countries. I, in the end, got my own child back after doing my jail sentence. He was home before I was, but they still gave him the vaccine. I don't really know what else to say today.
Give the mothers back their children.
Other than the children want to go home, the children have no voices in the courts, the gal speaks on the social workers' behalf, the social workers and the judges don't give a care for the children that's in care. It's a money-making organisation. For every child that goes into care, they get, I forget how much money they get, but then if they're fostered out, they get extra money for that. There's not a whole lot I can think at this.
We've imprisoned that mother over in England, brought her to England.
Oh, Harry. Nicole Fox was another mother that was jailed over her son for wanting to bring Harry home. He was sent to his abusive father over in England. There's Angela Ray now at this moment is up in court. Her court was put back until next week. She was exposing the fact that her son had no voice. Now all of us is here today is because of our children not having voices in care. I have grandchildren that's in care. One of them was vaccinated. Now he's handicapped from the vaccine. The vaccine has damaged him. He's 7 years old, but tusla will continue vaccinating the children in care. Please stand up and fight for the children in care. They have no voices. Us as mothers can handle ourselves, but the children can't. They need you to stand up and fight for them. They have no one else. Thank you.
You know, we're talking about all these so-called brilliant people in the Dáil, and I saw many fine dining this week. But I can honestly tell you, in the years that we've been doing this with Wake Up Éire as ourselves, and along with other groups, these are the cream of the crop. These women here and the men, these are the cream of Ireland. And I want to let the Garda Síochána know, when you're calling them names, and when you're going to City West and places like that, and bringing these people to the ground with pepper spray, and with this and with that, and RTE is the virus. When you're denigrating these people, these are the cream of Ireland, I can tell you, and these are the women of Ireland. And the women of Ireland are saying no. Because you know what? Enough is enough is enough. Bridget is absolutely correct. They are vaccinating, so-called vaccinating the children. And look at the hunger strikers at the Dáil a couple of weeks ago, and they will tell you that on Saturdays, I think it was Saturdays, they were brought down and they were experimented on by Smith Laxo-Klein. I always get it the wrong way around. And those children were experimented on in the 50s. And like I said, with these dystopian buildings in their smart city here, the buildings have changed, the corruption has not.
Devils.
And next, we're trying to get through the people. And next, what I would say is, I can understand the young parents here that are afraid to speak out. I completely get it. This is state-sponsored kidnapping. This is state-sponsored kidnapping, and I can understand young parents are scared, will I be next? But there's a generation, my generation, whose children have well grown. And I am appealing to that generation now. Please come out and step up. You have nothing to lose. Your children are not, sometimes at my kids' age, maybe they could put them in care for a while. I'm joking. So my generation now, you're walking around a little bit headless chickens because you don't know what's going on a lot of the time, or some of the time, or all of the time. So I'm asking my generation now to step up. Maybe let the younger parents step back a little, because they are scared and they're genuinely scared and they have valid reasons to be scared. So just from a grandparent's point of view, I'm just going to ask Peadar, who has been massively involved with Barry and getting the speakers, getting the things organised. I'm just going to ask Peadar, as a grandfather, just to say, the elder statesperson here, the younger elder statesperson here, just to say a couple of words from a grandparent's point of view and what we can do in that situation. I know Patrick and a couple of other people are just waiting. So, Peadar.
Can't really add a lot more to what has already been said. I am a father of 3 children and a grandfather of 3 young children also, and 5 other step-grandchildren, you might call them. And my 3 grandchildren are 10, 11, 12. I can directly relate to that poor child, that poor little girl, 10-year-old, who was taken off the street. No one there to look out for her, and brutally, savagely attacked and raped. It's despicable, you know. It would have been nice to see more people here today, but I would also say we're only getting started.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and thanks to everyone who turned up. You know, you are the cream of the milk here. Yeah. So, but to say we're only getting started. I came across an article by Suzanne Delaney. I thought it was actually very good. So I'm just going to read that. It's quite short. And it starts off, there's a darkness here that mirrors the Ireland of the past. It's hidden under a legitimate guise. That mirror must be shattered. The truth must be exposed. Don't be one of those people who only laments the past while ignoring the same travesties being perpetuated in our own time right now. We must be the guardians of innocence and childhood. Everyone should be supporting this, regardless of who you are. If you're not, then I would urge you to question what you stand for. Irish and migrant children are going missing and are being fed into a system where unregulated, commodified, privatised beds must be filled. Girls are being targeted by rape gangs, and the source of that, and you can find that, is the UCD study titled Protecting Against Predators. This system is not child or family focused. It is often cruel, dehumanising, traumatising, abusive, neglectful and profit-driven. Anyone who comes up against tusla or tries to take them on quickly finds out that it's a Goliath in the courts. The problem with tusla and its direct funding of and involvement with unregulated, inverted commas, care are manifold and cannot all be listed here, when we know what they are anyhow. But many children are being harmed or put at risk. Families too. We must protect them. Please do your part, no matter how small or big. Do something. Don't be one of those people who look back upon in years to come asking why didn't they speak up when it mattered.
Get out and do your Christian duty.
Be the person who tried to make a difference to children when it was they needed you most. And that's I thought that was, spot on.
Just very quickly, just on the grandparent thing. Yeah.
Hi, I'm here, so I want to give a shout out to any mother out there today whose child is missing. Yeah, and the fact of the matter is, tusla know where the child is. They've put this child with foster carers who, in all fairness, are actually only trying to make a quick buck. The children are trafficked from one foster carer to another foster carer who are making ends meet and pulling in an extra few quid every week from tusla, and that's a fact, and that's what's going on. I'm here to stand up for mothers at home alone at the moment. They don't know where their child is because they don't know where tusla have put their child. These mothers are totally alone. They can barely eat their dinners at home. They can barely manage to get to the court to try and rescue their child home. They need support. They need people coming in their homes with food and a bit of money for them to carry on day by day until they can get their children back in their arms. I'm sick of it. I've been coming here now several times with lots of people that are here today. And God bless every single one of you people for coming here today. And God bless all of you watching on the videos, because this organisation called tusla, the Child and Family Agencies, they are criminals, yeah? So I'd like to know who is going to arrest them. I've had enough. There's kids crying on their own in a foster place. Anyway, I'm going to have a nice day for the rest of the day and think of all the mothers at home alone without their kids because tusla have abducted them. Tusla are criminals. Thank you.
Welcome in, mate. There's some passionate women here
Just
today.
one more thing before we finish up here. tusla are putting court orders on children, and from that day on, up to the child is 18, the review cases that you're going back into court for, not a chance for you to get your child back. They're all review cases. So unless you put in your own applications to the courts for the return of your own child, you're only going back in on reviews every month. You're never going to get your child back. So please put your own applications into the court for the return of your own child. Otherwise, tusla are only bringing you in on reviews. And on them reviews, the gal and the social workers are going into the courts and they're saying everything is okay with the child. So that means you're walking out of court thinking, oh, well, maybe next time I have a chance with my child. No, you don't. You'll never get your children back unless you put in your own applications to the court for your children back. You have to do it, not legal aid. You have to do it, because legal aid work for the state. They are for tusla. So it's up to yourselves. You want to get your kids back, put in your own applications.
Thank you, British Scanlon.
The best word I've heard against tusla this week is tusla have to be exterminated. Thank you.
Guys, I think we're going to have Callum is going to speak now for a couple of minutes. Thanks, Callum.
Hello, I'm Callum Smiles. As you can hear, I'm English. I know in some cases people don't like it when the English come over here and do stuff, but this isn't about Irish kids. It's about kids.
Yeah.
And all children, no matter if they're Pakistani, Afghani, British, Irish, African, they need to be protected by those who have the means to do it. Now, I've come here because I'm making a documentary on tusla. I've been researching for well over a year now because I don't think the Irish actually realise they're in such a privileged position where I think it's a country that, and I don't mean this in any disrespect, it's small enough that people can actually have a big impact and change things at such a high level that it can actually inspire other countries across developed nations who have similar issues. In the UK, we have the well-known Rotherham scandal. It's not just Rotherham, it's across the entire country.
Thanks to Tommy Robinson.
If it's happening in Ireland and it's happening in the UK, you can bet your house that it's happening in France, Germany, Sweden, America. So what happens in Ireland, I actually think you can have a major impact when it comes to protecting kids worldwide. Now, I'm going to quickly tell you how I got into journalism, and it'll make sense in a moment. I got into journalism during COVID because I didn't like how quickly people I thought were reasoned, ordinary people quickly became mouthpieces for the state, and they were willing to throw people that they would call friends and family under the bus because they've been brainwashed. Now, I started doing public debates where I was threatened, attacked, abused in the street, not for any money, not because, you know, someone told me to. I did it because I cared about my society, and I didn't like how people stopped talking. So my channel was called Frankly Speaking Politics, because I wanted people to speak frankly again about issues that are important, because when people stop talking, bad things happen. Now, I've had so many emails from people that are here today. You've all said these things where, and it's been said the same on countless occasions in a slightly different way, but the same message, that so many people think that it's just them. They're alone. Now, I started doing my Frankly Speaking Politics because I would talk to people about COVID in the streets and stuff, and people would quietly agree with me, but they'd go along with things because they felt threatened by the state, and they felt that everyone was against them. But I would always say to them, actually, if you just speak to your neighbour on your left, speak to your neighbour on the right, a good 80% of the people that I'm speaking to, you're all saying the same thing. And so if we're all saying the same thing and thinking the same thing, there's a lot more of us who think rationally, who have good intentions, than those that are willing to sell us out and do nefarious things to us, people we love, and the people who are most vulnerable. So I'm going to ask you to do two things. Firstly, pick someone here that you've never met before. Go and introduce yourself. Go and exchange numbers. Set up your WhatsApp groups, because actually people power does work. So, well, I think if everyone here knows each other, when you go home today, go and speak to someone in your village that doesn't know about this, or that does know about this and has spoken to you quietly about it. Tell them that you know hundreds, thousands of other people that actually think this way, and get your groups together, because when there's a lot of people, you can force big change. Yeah. The second thing, I'm going to be stood over there after this, and I want to do interviews with people that have been affected by tusla, because, as I said earlier, so many people have got in touch and they're saying this is a problem, but they all think that it's only a few people. I want to get all your stories out there. I want to flood the internet, not for myself, not for the channel that I work for, but to actually protect vulnerable kids. And if we can flood the internet and make people realize you're not alone, then more will come out, and then you can have change. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, Sheila here.
Never met you before,
Who
Matt.
knows all about your child being taken? The mother from the mother and baby homes, well, institution. After 41 years searching, I finally found my son, which was brilliant, you know, to find him after years and years and years. I don't say tusla, I say the Eastern Health Board. Yeah. It hasn't changed. It's still, there's nothing will ever change it for me. But however, I'm just so disheartened regarding City West. You know, a mother and a 10-year-old child, her child who was given into the hands of tusla in their care, and then suddenly slipped away and ended up with a security guard who was actually in accommodation in City West. Now, when you get a position, if you're looking after children, if you're looking after with money, if you're dealing with money, if you're dealing with the public, you have to be Garda vetted. And these are questions that has to be answered. But they all should be they all should be vetted. Everyone, anyone with the public, dealing with money, dealing with children, dealing with people, has to be vetted. And I used to be a carer, general carer once upon a time. But however, I was in disgust about a poor mother, how she was left there in an awful state over her child, a little girl, a 10-year-old, her innocence taken. But I'm sick and tired of listening about, oh, this was damaged, that was damaged, this went to fire, that went to fire. I'm only interested in the human being, the child. You cannot replace a child. You can replace a bus or whatever, a van or anything. You can replace them. They're only material things, but you cannot replace a life.
Yeah.
But that child's life is literally destroyed. Destroyed. Hopefully there'll be care given and the child will get counselling and it'll be able to, function. Hopefully she will. Along with more other children. When we think of Parnell Square, which I will never forget, all about the children and the carer. 3 children stabbed and a carer. And all they go on about is the damage of this and the damage of that. These are human beings. These are children. And as far as I can see, the question is, there was no vetting with any of these people that's coming into our country. They're not being vetted. They're coming in. Nobody knows. We don't mind people that come here that has their papers and has their documentation and they pay their way and they work hard. A great time. I have worked with a lot of people from different nationalities. But let me tell you, the system has to change. So I leave it there. But I also, before I go, I am a member of ERA Behind Ireland. And I'm proud to be with them. We are a community of people that are nurses, specialists, doctors. We're in a community that helps people and that will reach out and ask the questions. And if there is, to bring it to the TDs to find out what the faults are, what this is, that is. We want to question about the money, what the fundings are, everything. It has to be questioned. There's too much being wasted regarding in this country. So listen, I'm going to say I leave it there, Sheila.
Well done, Sheila.
Just Paddy Quinlan is going to say a few words.
Gardaí must be disbanded.
Hey there, people. My name is Fergus Pella. I just want to make a point today that the same criminal cartel in that doll who were responsible for that little 10-year-old girl being raped, they were also responsible back in 2021 for putting this whole country in a medical trial, which has resulted in 25,000 plus in excess mortality in our brothers and sisters. Totally fit men, women, Ava O'Brien, Roy Butler, babies in the womb. We have to have accountability. This isn't it today, lads. This is only going to build from here, right? These absolute monsters have to be taken to task what they're doing. They preside over the worst time in our history. Children going missing. As I said, over 25,000 people that won't be sitting at the Christmas table this year, lads. It's an absolute disgrace. And don't forget them people, all right? And just a message for you today, for this criminal cartel in the doll. Eira's children and God's children are for sale no more.
I was actually hesitant to even come and say something because I don't want to be I don't want to be seen to be being airdropped into positions and stuff like that just to try and take limelight. In fact, I don't even like being involved in politics. I actually hate being involved in politics. I hate the fact that I stood for election and got elected and that I represented people of Blanchetown, one other. And the reason I got involved in politics was because of the abortion referendum in 2018. I fundamentally believe that down in my core that the Irish people would return a no vote in that referendum and defend the right to life to the unborn child. But it was then when that result was read out, and they celebrated like a pack of jackals inside of Dublin Castle, the right to terminate an unborn child. I knew there and then that there was absolutely no evil that the Irish people could not be convinced was good for them. And make no mistake about it, that is what tusla as an organisation is absolute evil that is being medicated to the Irish people and being told on a loop, on repeat, this is good for you. What's good about separating Irish children from their mothers? What's good about putting children into the care of social workers who inevitably put them in the hands of someone who does heinous things to them? 10-year-old child in City West raped under the watch of tusla. But my message, I could go on all day about what I want to do to that organisation and how my party is going to disband it and make sure that every single person inside the place is held accountable for the wrongdoings of that organisation. But I want to make a note and a message to the Irish women, children and the fathers who feel forgotten, left behind, as if nobody cares, as if your cries at night go unheard. Make absolutely no mistake about it. The Irish people hear you. And the more we hear you, the more we talk, and the more we spread this message, the more people are going to run to this rod and strike like a lightning rod for the defence of our children. That's all I have to say. Well done.
And everything that has been said here so far, I'm sure people will agree with it and say it 100 times over. And he's right. And all of the guys and girls that have spoken here, this is only the beginning. And we want to reassure tusla, this is only the beginning. Sheila brought up a valid point, the vetting. Who's vetting the vetters? Because our vetting service has become a joke. How can care services come in from England and abroad, set up shop here, and our children fostered and farmed out to them? How has this happened? Money is the arbitrary here. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. Just 1 second. I know, and we are trying, and I appreciate people standing. And I see Anita Ward here has come up all the way from Cork. Has she? What a woman! I mean, these women are incredible. The next woman that's just going to speak, I was at a different rally and happened to meet by accident, but there's never an accident, this woman at the Dáil, and she was speaking, and I thought I knew, some of the things that was going on with children, and I just listened to it incredulously, nearly not believing what she's saying. So, ladies and gentlemen, Nicola Fox.
This woman's story is really sad, lads. How doesn't this one?
Thank you to everybody who has turned out today. And like somebody else mentioned, we need to grow the numbers, because now that we've got momentum and they're starting to pay attention and they're actually starting to act in Leinster House finally, despite a policy paper sitting on their desk on the shelf gathering dust since Helen McEntee's days, almost 2 years ago. Nothing has come of that policy paper. So now is the time to start speaking out. Don't be afraid. That's what they want you to do. They want you to stay silent so they can continue to make money and profit from our children's trauma. They want you to stay silent. They will threaten you with fines, with prison. Go to prison for our children if that's what it takes. I did, and I'll do it again. I will do it again until they are exposed for what they are doing to our children. We need to expose them for everything. See, Ruth Morrow Farrell, I'm here in a capacity for the general family courts and what families are going through in there, how you're spoken to, how you're degraded, how you are not regarded as the child's mother. Your child is an asset to them. Your child makes money. They make money off your child's trauma. Jim Sheehan, unregulated, unvetted. How much money did they make? 140,000 euros was the price tag on my son's head. 140,000 euros. He made 50,000 off my child. She made thousands off my child, Ruth Morrow Farrell, and both of them are still operating in the Irish family courts. They are unregulated, they are unvetted, and they do not care about our children. They only care about making money. It is a multi-million euro profiting industry. The family court is not about justice. It's about greed, power, and keeping a boot on our necks. Don't let them do it any longer. We have to speak out. We have to come together and keep doing this until each one of these villains and their Catholic cohorts are held accountable for what they're doing. And tusla employs these. They put them on cases and they are still doing it. Kate Duggan, you should be out here explaining to all these people here today what your fat paycheck actually does for the children of Ireland. How dare you? How dare you? Do not be silent. Bring Harry home. Bring Harry home. Bring Harry home. Thank you. What's her name, Kate?
Kate Duggan.
Kate Duggan, CEO of tusla. We're asking you to come down here and explain to the good people of Ireland, where are their children? Where are the children? Bring Harry home. And what I will say about this lady, and the thing that really impressed me about this woman, she said when Harry comes home, we plan to have a party at the airport. But she's not going to stop at Harry being home. She is pledged, and she has pledged, that she will work tirelessly to bring other children home. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what it's about. That's pure love, not just the love of your own child. The real love is the love of all children. And that's what tusla and their workers and their cohorts are completely incapable of. They have no moral compass, and the people that protect them have even a less moral compass. So I know people are winding it down. One thing that's really important to say is we have clipboards here. We're asking people, will you step forward? Will you give your email or your phone number, whichever you're happy with? What we're hoping to do from here is to form a committee. It'd be great if you've got people that represent different parts of the country so that they keep up the pressure, they keep the emails going, they go online and they report back from their county, whether it be County Dublin, Wexford, Wicklow, County Cork, wherever. So we're asking people, will you please leave if you intend to commit to it? And that would be fantastic. And that's letting tusla know these ladies are not for turning, and these men, they're not for turning. So Ciara, I know, is taking the names. If you're happy to make up another Gmail or whatever you're happy to do, and we will contact you with the premise that you will form committees, liaise with each other, and keep this pressure up. I know there's a man here to the right. You wanted to say 2 words, did you? Did you want to say 2 words? And then Paul is just going to, again, reaffirm for us that he's going to keep up the pressure on his Irish column, isn't it, Paul? Every week he's going to keep talking about it, and we appreciate that.
Thank you so much, everyone. I wanted to touch on something else that hasn't been covered yet. And I'm not saying this out of a lack of education or ignorance for the law. I'm saying it out of a place of respect for what's good and decent. Release the name of the child rapist. Release the identity. Release his name. They were all too quick and all too easy to release each and every single full name, the address, age, everything of all the people who were apprehended for behaviour during the protests a few weeks ago. They'll give everything out possible to know about those people, but not the man who raped the child. And they try to play it off, both the state officials and also people online defending it. They'll write it off as saying, oh, well, it's to protect the victim in question. Well, I mean, do you not think stopping her from being raped would be protecting her even more? It's a bit late for that kind of sentiment now, isn't it? If you cared so much about protecting innocent children, protecting the victim, you wouldn't be letting in people who can rape her to begin with. We're way past that point. Now, tusla as an organisation, in my opinion, quite frankly, that whole building should be audited, right? No warning, no giving in advance, complete random searches along with any other properties put down as assets belonged by them, right? Now, I can't speak too much at the moment because I don't want to jeopardise the case, but there's stuff that I've been contacted about that's going to come out, and it goes so much deeper than you know. There's so many parents sitting in the dark, having no one, and they try to get the mainstream media to pick it up. No one's covering it, no one wants to touch it. There's so much stuff, it goes so much deeper. You've got anything from abuse, systematic case-by-case abuse for so many children, to all the way to children being brought in under the books of TUSLA when they're not even needed. And you know why that is? Remember, folks, they get paid for every child under their roof. For every child they have to look after. They make money from it, right? I want to say thanks so much to everyone who turned out. I was here a couple of weeks ago, and I recognise some faces a lot who were here a couple of weeks ago as well. And I'd say it was about a quarter of the size, right? And what I said that day was this: listen, I know you may have been a bit disappointed with the turnout, right? But no, a few weeks ago. But listen, you've got to start somewhere, right? And I said, keep it going with consistency and it'll grow. And that was a few weeks ago, and we're back here at the exact same space now, and they're about 4 or 5 times the crowd, right? We're getting more organised, we're getting bigger, we're getting more passionate, we're getting more mainstream, right? And it's only going to keep going. So everybody, thank you so much. Keep it up. I'll see you all again more often, bigger crowds, more pressure, and it's going to break, right? There's a door and we're the hammer, right? Don't forget, politics is not something that happens to you, right? And it's not something that you're a subject of. It's something that you are a part of. It's something that begins with you. You are politics, right? So be the difference that you want to see in the world. Be an informed and active citizen all the time, right? There's a door that we've got to break down. We're the hammer, right? Keep swinging and it'll give. So, Bear Bua, Ergabra, Gurmila Mahaga.
And just finally, Nicola, I know she didn't get to say about this what's it called, this? The in-camera rule. Well, years ago, of course, it was the in-church rule of the hallowed halls where the children were told, shh, don't tell anything. So now we've come into the digital era where it's don't report anything. Cameras can't come in to protect the children. Everything is to protect the children. There's nothing in this country protecting the children. Where's all the childcare workers? They should be down here now. Where's the child psychologists? They should be down here now. Where's the family support workers? They should be down here now. Where's the TDs? They should be down here now. All the ones looking for votes forming new parties, they should be here. The ones that want to come from America and save us poor little peasants, they want to come across the water and save us. They should be here now. You are the people that are here now. You are the same faces that are always here, and God bless you. Wonderful faces. So for now, God bless you, unless there's anybody that really feels there's something vital that we've missed. Is there anything vital? This lady is telling me it's 50,000 per child. That's the price of your child at home today.
When they take them into care, £50,000 bonus when they first take them into care. I just want to say thank you. We came from Ireland to support you because it's happening down in Northern Ireland too. It's happening in a global scale, and the corruption is, you're right, it's all about the money, love. It's all about, my son lost his child on March 2021 over one bruise. He no criminal record, neither him and his partner. The social worker rang the hospital, they take the child to the hospital, and she said to keep them in. CPO was granted, emergency protection order, and then they went for forced adoption. I last seen my granddaughter, she had a big black eye, and the social worker said to me, she ran into the foster carers table, and we took the photograph. I put in a complaint. She didn't recall the child sustaining a black eye. Disgusting. So yeah, you all need to be held accountable.
So look, Gurmila, my God, everybody, thank you for coming. Don't forget, if you want to leave your names with Ciara, if you are willing, because it'd be really good if we could get every county represented.
Well, Doris, thanks for coming in there today.
I appreciate what you say. Every county.
It's been a really good turnout here today, as you can see. The usual St. Paul Gardaí here.
And talk to each other, and let's get this show up the road. You heard what Miss Lady said. Your child was valuable to you. So just let's worth 50 grand. So, you know, remember that. 50 grand. Thanks, Paul, to the Irish College for constantly standing away there and keeping it not on the road. So call back. That's the margin of our children as well. If they can't margin in one way, they try and margin in another way. So God bless all children for covering everything today to you. Everybody else, thank you and God bless everybody. Well done, everyone.
Very good. My name is Darren McKeon, there's a lot of us here from all around the country, people from Cork, Limerick, Sligo, Roscommon, and myself, I was on the road for this morning, right? It's my first time doing a bit of speaking.
Good to see you again, mate. Yeah, see you soon.
I'm leaving my number to the next phone.
Get your phone out.
No, I don't have a mobile.
Oh, you can
Landline.
There's a piece of paper.
If you want to take it down,
no, I don't actually have one.
Listen, the next time I see you, we sort it out.
Stick it down with a piece of paper. Stick it straight to the right. Hey, good to see you. Thanks again for that. Thanks again. So we met Pat Farrell from the chat there today, guys. Really nice lad. Yeah, it's always good when people come up from the chat and say hello, and you get to spend a couple of hours with people. So yeah, happy days. He's a good lad. Have you ever seen him in the chat? So here's this tusla building now. Look, there's not one of them was looking out the window. Probably all snuck out the back door and all on lunch break or something. So thanks for coming in, everyone there today. I've been trying to hide the microphone and keep the sound muffled. April, how's it going? Welcome in.
By nature, that is designed to compile us. Yeah? Now, there's a country not too far away from here, it's called Switzerland. They have a 4th branch back up. It's called a direct citizen commission. Alright? What that does is that puts forward.
Mr. Media, welcome in, brother. Thanks for tuning in today. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. Really shiny, good to see you. We keep it. Today we're wrapping up this one.
It's wrapping up.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I'm Darren Jumper. That's out there. I washed it and put it in the front.
It's lovely.
I washed it though, stupid. I washed it. You can eat it. Real bloke's thing to do. Stick it in.
Conditioner, lukewarm water and hair conditioner, and then stretch it.
Oh, okay. I've been standing on it for the last couple of weeks.
No. Lukewarm water and hair conditioner keeps it cool. It's really nice. Hand it.
Hand it, yeah.
Now, there's a lot of people here that are going to try and represent us, and you boys know why we start, because you know that. These lads will be powerless unless we got into elections initiatives. They will not legally be allowed to represent us. They can't have it.
He's just over there.
So there's one most everybody's coming with the rest of these issues.
So I'm just going to pan out here, guys, and just give you a flavour of the crowd here today. It's a really good crowd. There's a guy here doing a documentary as well. See him down there. He's over from England, Vox Pole. Go and check out his YouTube channel. He's here to interview some of the girls who've been affected by tusla, having their kids taken off them, and yeah.
No revolution. I'm calling a revolution. Revolution's going on. The reason why we can sit here and speak, the reason why we can go and shop, the reason why we're not working the land and sending all our food off to the country right again, because we're not doing this work. We have a revolution. Yeah? Revolution goes end. Activism ends. Movement ends.
How's it going?
When we all go home, that's what it is. Direct citizen solution is only way that is fundamental for a voice.
Wolfie, a legend, yeah. Thanks, brother. You get no coffee with that on the way home. You're a star. Thanks, mate. I'm after walking in dog shit here as well. fucking everywhere. 2 weeks till I'm banned on social media. Cheers, brother, you're a star. Have fun over the next 2 weeks. I'll let you say what you want on this channel, right? I'm after walking in dog shit, lads. There's dog shit all over the place, look. There's people bringing their dogs for walking here and they're letting them crap all over the place. Three hugging Buddhists in the house. April, how's it going? Guys, sorry I haven't been saying much there today. I've been trying to keep it's very windy here. Very windy here.
Where's the roof? Let's go! My name is Darren McShane. I've got a lot of people here. Anthony, Paul, Neil, John, I'm going to need you all to step forward. Whip out that phone and get the page up. Hand it to the person beside you and let's get this movement going, because I'm not just here representing myself. I'm here representing a lot of people, a lot of educated people, a lot of people that are fit for the job. But we don't have a name, and we'll never have a name. Why? Because we're all of us. We're all of us here. Yeah? Find me out, seek me out, and we get this going. There's a plan right there. Step by step, we can get this done. But we need every person here on board with that. The next person that you're talking to today that isn't here, you need those words on the tip of their tongue. A direct citizens initiative is the only way this gets sorted. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.
Mr. Brown, thanks for coming to the chat there today. Everyone's coming in, all the boss. Thanks for keeping it clean, guys.
Thank you so much to everybody for coming. Thanks to Barry and to Father for organising the speakers, for Ciara, Father for organising the banners, people that have paid for the banners. Thank you so much. And this man is actually correct. It's a spiritual war. And what I would say to tusla, and what I would say to Satan, get behind us, tusla. Get behind us, Satan. You have no power over us. Take care, mind yourself. Don't forget to leave your name. And, thank you so much.
It has to start now. And it starts rolling. The fight back.
Moses's in the house. How are you, brother? Good seeing you, guys. Once again, thanks for coming in. I've just done dog shit. It's everywhere. There's dog shit everywhere. I'm going to kill Brewer. Fucking Brewer. It's all over the place. Ah, stop with it. So there is tusla there, lads. Look, hundreds and hundreds of millions it's cost for that building, and they're out here stealing Irish kids. The price of an Irish kid, we've heard today, is 50,000 euros. That's what they get between adoption agencies.
Thank you so much. God bless you all. And to your involvement for making us listeners. Thank you.
Ready for war.
I'm sorry, again, guys, if people want
It's not just Irish children as well, guys. These are foreign kids that are basically getting pimped out around the place by the Family and Child Care Agency.
I was asked about the editing. Yeah. So anyone that wants to contribute, I think the chat is over here, so don't forget that as well. Thank you so much. And Phil, of course.
Mr. Media, thanks for that, dude.
And the 40 is here. Step up, I want a few words with them.
They're after putting out a call for RTE. There's no sign of them. So we're going to wrap this up here in a few minutes, okay? It's starting to die down a little bit. I want to go and see a few people as well. So if you want to say your goodbyes, thanks for joining me in there. Thanks for keeping it clean, guys. And we'll see you in a few days' time. Richard Dowling, how are you, brother? Good seeing you, mate. Tell me picture, will you? You're spoiling me picture. I had a lovely view there, the mousey turned around. So it's called the Brunel Building. If anyone wants to Google it, if you want to find out how much it cost, I'd say it probably cost about hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions. Sandra Carroll's in the house. How are you, young lady? Good to see you in there. Thanks for your support as well. I'm going to wind this down, right? So I just want to say, you boys, we're going to get a coffee. Wolfie, thanks for that. You're a star. Looks like a ship through Ireland, doesn't it? It does, yeah. It's called the Brunel Building. So, you know, Isambard King of Brunel? He's the one who dug the tunnel through Greystones through Bray Head. Splendid Englishman he was. Right, guys, go enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for dropping in.